The Fulton County District Attorney's Office has filed a motion to revoke young Thug's probation. They want to lock Thug back up because of a tweet. Yes, you heard me correctly. And all he said was someone was a liar. And they're blaming him for what people said on Twitter. Apparently, Thug can't tweet personal opinions without being threatened to be sentenced to prison. Hit subscribe. I'm going to read the full thing. Let's go. Oh man. Here we go. State's mission to revoke probation. These motherfuckers are delusional. State of Georgia, by and through undersigned counsel, moves this honorable court to immediately revoke the probation of defendant Jeffrey Williams. Defendant has demonstrated blatant disregard for the law, the safety of the witnesses, and the integrity of the judicial proceedings. The state submits to the defense continued presence in the community under probationary supervision prevents a clear and present danger to public safety and undermines the rule of law. And I think this is over a tweet where Thug tweeted out a picture of investigator Viverito and said she was a liar, or the biggest liar in the DA or whatever. October 31st, on Halloween, Jeffrey Williams was sentenced to probation with the conditions that include no contact with the victim and the victim's family. Defendant pled guilty and the conditions of probation were imposed pursuant to blah blah blah, which authorized courts to establish and enforce conditions necessary to protect the public and uphold the administration of justice. Since sentencing, the defendant has engaged in conduct that directly threatens the safety of witnesses and prosecutors, compromises ongoing legal proceedings, and warrants immediate revocation of probation. This is horseshit. Escalating threats and witness intimidation. Investigator Marissa Viverito is currently testifying in a multi-defendant gang murder preliminary hearing. My video yesterday, Goodfellas shit with the murder of those two innocent kids, some sad stuff right there, which remains ongoing, is set to reconvene on Monday, April 7th. During this hearing, the court explicitly ordered that the witness not be shown on television while testifying. Despite this order, a known blogger deliberately violated the court's directive by posting on social media she doesn't want to be shown on screen. Well, here she is, along with the photograph of investigator Viverito. Who is the known blogger? Is it infamous Sylvia? On Tuesday, April 1st, Jeffrey Williams Thug amplified this act by reposting the image with the caption, Marissa Viverito is the biggest liar in the DA's office, the tweet. This post quickly went viral, amassing over 2 million views with thousands of comments and retweets, many of which included direct threats to investigator Viverito and her family. Thug is not responsible for random strangers on the internet. And I don't recall there ever being a part in his probation where he can't speak his mind about certain people in the police department. Was that a part of his probation? I don't think it was. Direct consequence of these social media posts, Viverito's home address and her parents' home address was publicly posted, exposing them to grave danger. One post stated, if the hate is really real, then pull up on her mama crib, alongside a photograph of their mother's residence. That is not Thug's fault, dude. It's a known thing on even YouTube and Twitch. YouTubers and Twitch people and all these people that live stream, they are not responsible for their chat, dude. The internet is the Wild West right now, especially Twitter. Twitter is a cesspool, chaos, and racism now, dude. Hours later, an additional post emerged threatening the assassination of District Attorney Fonnie Willis. The escalation from targeting a testifying witness to making a direct death threat against the elected District Attorney of Fulton County is a grave and unprecedented attack on the justice system. Thug didn't make a death threat to Fonnie Willis. That wasn't him. Why are they acting like that was him? Why did they word that like it was Thug that did that? Fuck you. This is not an isolated incident. It is part of a calculated campaign of intimidation, harassment, and misinformation designed to undermine the legal process. Oh, here we go. They're acting like they didn't fuck up the entire YSL trial. The prosecutors are literally known across the entire United States with every lawyer on how not to prosecute a case. Literally, it's their fault. Social media has been used as a tool to manipulate public perception, spread misinformation, and instill fear. These efforts have included attempts to exploit the court's perceived stance of disdain toward the state by referring to Your Honor as YSL Whitaker. That was because Judge Glanville was clearly biased for the state, and the state is salty that a judge came in and was actually fair and trying to end the shit show that you put on for 2.5 years or whatever, dude. The absolute shit show of a trial you had for 2 years, where you ended up giving pleas to everyone because you realized you fucked the case up so bad. That's literally what happened. They gave pleas to everyone because they fucked the case up so bad. I'm getting heated. This is pissing me off. This ongoing manipulation of public perception is intended to obstruct justice, silence witnesses, and threaten those who enforce the law. Under OCGA 42.834.1, a court may revoke a defense probation when they engage in new criminal conduct or violations that threaten public safety. Defense continued association with individuals actively involved in witness intimidation, threats of violence, and obstruction of justice constitutes a clear violation of probation conditions. Who is he associated with? Individuals that actively involved in witness intimidation. Who are they talking about? Are they talking about the fans on Twitter? Or is he hanging out with someone else? What? These actions mirror the established tactics of criminal organization as defined under OCGA blah blah blah, which are designed to instill fear, silence witnesses, and interfere with judicial proceedings. As a direct consequence of these actions, law enforcement resources have been required to provide security in response to the escalating threats and intimidation. Georgia courts have consistently upheld the revocation of probation for conduct that endangers witnesses, obstructs justice, or threatens public officials. Failure to act decisively will only encourage further attempts to threaten, harass, and intimidate those involved in this case. The state asserts that not addressing this matter directly with the defendant would fail to serve as an adequate deterrent given the gravity and escalating nature of these threats. He's not making threats. The gravity and escalating nature of these threats were not Thug from his voice or his Twitter. It is strangers on the internet in the Wild West that Elon Musk created. Furthermore, as both the defendant and this court acknowledged during his plea and sentencing, the defendant wields significant influence over people worldwide, amplifying the potential impact of his actions. Need for revocation, the integrity of this court and safety of these involved in prosecution are at stake. Defense probation should be immediately revoked to prevent further harm. Ensure compliance with the law and send a clear message that witness intimidation and threats against public officials will not be tolerated. The state urges this court to take swift and decisive action by revoking the defense probation and remaining them in custody without delay. This is horse shit. This is so crazy. Over a tweet where he said she was a liar with a picture of her face. Because guess what? Her face is public. Atlanta Police Department at one point posted a picture of her on their Facebook. Her face is public. Everyone knows what her face looks like because of the Facebook, dude. You can just look up her name on Google. It popped up before Thug ever tweeted anything. So it's not like this is a new picture that Thug found. If you look up her name, it's on Google. State of Georgia respectfully requests this court to schedule a hearing to address immediately revoke or modify defense probation as it deems appropriate. Order defendant to reimburse the costs incurred by law enforcement for the additional protective measures necessitated by their actions. Hold on. They want Thug to pay for the police officers that are probably sitting out front of her house right now. What happened to Thug's watch that's missing? Where's Thug's property that was seized when clearly it wasn't made by gang money? It was made by music, touring, merch, music streams, not gang money. There was no evidence of any bank records. You. Impose any further sanctions necessary to safeguard the witnesses, prosecutors, and the integrity of the judicial process. Fonnie T. Willis, Abati, and Simone Hilton. Oh my god, I fucking hate these motherfuckers. Exhibit A. Oh, it was Sylvia. Oh no. Viverito's testimony footage. So the... this is actually pretty funny. So she was instructed not to show Viverito's face in court, like film it or whatever, but she just put Viverito's face in the thumbnail instead. This is a public picture. She's holding up an award that APD probably posted on their own fucking Facebook. Whose fault is that? Why are you posting your officers on Facebook? That's your own fucking fault. The same way investigators look at Instagrams of gangsters and people wearing fucking red and green on Instagram, we can look up at your Atlanta PD's Facebook and find pictures because you post them yourself, dumbasses. Biggest liar in DA. Here's the tweet, and he posted the same picture that they probably posted on their fucking Facebook. Thug retweeted Thugger Daily. All my homies hate Viverito with multiple pictures of her. And here's the threatening tweet by this random person. If the hate is real, then pull up to her mama crib and they show a picture of her house. I'm clearly not going to show that on the YouTube video. I will personally make sure Fonnie Willis is assassinated. Another random tweet from a random person. See, those tweets are clearly not good, right? But it's not Thug tweeting them. Thug is not responsible for millions of fans tweeting whatever they want. And then they put this in. What is this? But I understand, rap lyrics. I understand how it could be twisted. I understand what it could do to the mind of people. I understand all that. Oh, is this what Thug said when he was standing up? I promise you I'm 100% changing that. It's just, I'm older. I'm grown now, and it's just like, I'm smarter. It's more things to rap about. Like, I experienced a lot of good things. I experienced more bad things, but I experienced a lot of good things too. And any way I could. I can go forever this court. Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate that you realize how much of an impact you have on people. It's past your neighborhood. It's worldwide, especially young people. Why'd they add this in? What's the point of this? So this entire motion is complete horseshit. They're blaming Thug for tweeting out a picture and other people are making threats. Max Star just tweeted this. I try to stay out of all this mess, but it appears that we do have a constitutional crisis after all. Can't film music videos in your city without being threatened with prosecution. Can't tweet your personal opinions without being threatened with jail. This ain't it. And that's pretty much what it is. They want to silence him of anything involving this case when all he tweeted was that someone was a liar with a picture. He did not threaten anyone. He didn't do anything. Nick tweeted, Fonnie Willis argues that Young Thug is responsible for what others do on social media. The world's worst gang expert, Viverito, had her pictures up all over the place until just before she testified in the YSL trial. She is not unknown. She is a liar who lies, who makes shit up under the oath. The one in prison should be Fonnie and Viverito. I mean, this lady did lie on the stand. There's like 5 moments at least in the trial where she answered things weird and was stuttering. I mean, they tried to say Thug was putting $25 million hits out on people. Comment down below what you guys think. Hit subscribe. Love you guys. Peace out.